My wallet is sobbing. I can hear it. I can hear it in the hall now. It is breaking down, crying.
It turns out that Attila, the arrogant so-and-so, he's got a fake hammer.
Oh, a fake?
Yeah.
Whoa.
As I say, dick.
Welcome to episode 119 of the Your Allegiance podcast. And this week we're going to talk a little bit about the Infinite Legions reveal that happened last week. And then we've got some random stuff to close us out, some Patreon questions and maybe some other stuff if the boys have done any prep. So let's see.
That'll be a no then, everybody.
Thank you, Patreon questions then. How are you, Rich?
I'm good, thank you, John. I've stopped sweating finally. For anyone that watches this on the tube, they'll be able to see me looking quite red in the face. Just had a bit of a load of very surprisingly heavy garden plants from my back garden through the house onto my drive. So my father-in-law can collect them. So boo to him, quite frankly.
Glad we don't have smell-o-vision in here, so...
Oh, absolutely, yeah. You wouldn't want it. There's no surprise, neither my family or the cats are anywhere near me at the moment. You know.
Good, well, that's going to be a clean recording then. I love it. Yeah. And you, Mal, how's things?
Yeah, I'm all right. You know, doing what I got to do. Living the dream.
Yeah.
Without a hint of sarcasm, Mal, well done.
We're
into summer now, you know.
It's
surely there's
very
summer holidays coming up for people.
Yeah, I've got a week off in ended next month, so I've got a while to wait. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, but the great thing about summer is people go on holidays. It could be just people you don't like working with, and when they go on holidays, that's like a little holiday for you as well.
Yeah, that's true. It'll get quieter. Very true. Yeah.
You know, or that annoying boss or whatever.
I drop a load of names here, but as I mentioned the podcast so much, one of them might actually watch it just to see. I better not.
No, I think we're safe with that. You know, everyone works with at least one person that, you know, they mightn't get on with.
It's not just one.
Yeah, Rich in an office of three people. And he's like, it's not just one. Oh, that's terrible. So, and you got some G.I. Joe pre-orders tonight, so you boys were ordering away?
Yeah, I haven't actually ordered yet, but I will order the AWE striker and crankcase that goes with him. Because I had that as a kid, so that's an instant. Even though it's a vehicle, I'm trying not to get too many vehicles, but that's just an instant buy.
I had him as a kid. Crankcase was the one wearing a cardigan, wasn't he? With ginger hair and ginger. But yeah, he doesn't look like he's wearing a cardigan in this one. It's a bit disappointing.
That'll be the retro card version of him later.
And they probably will. I might pick that one up just for the novelty of him wearing a cardigan. But I've gone with the Sarge and Mercer 2-pack because, again, I've sort of stuck to, which I know to some people is blasphemy, the movie figures, because that was a big part of my youth and what got me into G.I. Joe. And because I don't want to go all in, that's what I'm collecting around. And I love the Renegades in that. They're so cool. So, yeah.
Have you seen the very strong hints, Mal, that the HasLab this time is going to be whatever the big thing the Dreadnoks had was?
Oh, right. I thought it was Snowcat they were hinting at quite a lot.
I'm hoping you've heard better info than me then, because I will buy the Snowcat.
Yeah, right. I think he'll be that, because they were saying about chill and all this sort of thing. I mean, they have also said in the past that the Thunder Machine wasn't big enough to be a HasLab. They would just do that. Made it sound like they'll just do that as a vehicle. So.
Oh, well, hopefully you're right then, because that was probably my favourite vehicle as a kid. So
yeah.
I'll have to get that and find room for it.
And you'll get loads of extras, of course, with it being HasLab.
Yeah.
So they're always, for me, with so far with the G.I. Joe HasLabs, it's all the extra stuff that's been the more fun stuff. Yeah.
Like the extra figures and stuff, or?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't picked any of them up because, again, I'm not, I'm trying not to buy most of it. So
they're big, and been in your house. It's not the biggest in terms of real estate for displaying stuff, so you have to be careful. Although you got a dragon coming.
Yeah, well, I've had the email today saying that what's it called again? Spro. Keep talking, guys, because this is the Cobra Snake is due to be dispatched at the end of this week, and that the robot.
The big old robot thing. Yeah.
This month's turning into an expensive month, I can tell you.
I could do that at the moment, to be honest, but it's too cool. I did pre-order that.
Is that a vehicle or?
Yeah, it's a big robot, like a robot mech suit type sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah. So that'll go on top of my shelves next to Serpentor's chariot. So maybe have it open with a figure sat in it, I think. So.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Awesome. Well, here's a couple of figures that we might end up adding to the shelves. We'll have to see. So they did the live stream last Friday, and they announced the first figures in the Infinite Legions toy line. So if you're not too familiar with what Infinite Legions is, it's a concept where the Four Horsemen is going to be using the Legions build system. So basically parts from Legions and the way they're built, and maybe then sculpting a few additional parts and working with other creators. In this case, it was Matt from O'Neill Design for these two originally Glyos figures. And they're going to be working closely with them to develop the figures into that system. So what we know in this case is more the Cosmic Legions book. So, 6-7 inch scale figures. And it's pretty cool. It's not exactly tributes. I know people that aren't deep in the Legions like us. They were thinking it was just tributes to these type of figures, and that the Horsemen either got permission or we're doing an acknowledgement of these people, but it's actually that they are working with them, so it's a kind of a joint project. So the first one up here is Pheyden, and this was heavily teased previously. We saw kind of a render of him at Legions Con, and then we saw kind of various close-ups during the week until we got the reveal. So here he is, big blue robot guy, spacesuit guy with an arm cannon, bunch of different heads. Looks like the lower legs from the new cosmic spacesuits there, Mal.
That's right, yeah.
So what are we thinking here? Oh, the lower arms as well. Oh, that's nice.
I think he looks fantastic. As I said previously, I don't really have an attachment to Glyos and this and O'Neill Design and what they do. But I think this is awesome just as a cool Cosmic Legions figure. He's going to totally go on my Cosmic shelf. I love the use of the parts, and it was said in the reveal show, it that perfect. Yeah. Okay, I shouldn't really say this, I guess, but it was from Matt, who created Glyos, or at least this figure, Pheyden, and he said it's nuts how perfect the existing parts for the legs and the arms were, and it just looks very cool, doesn't it? It's my opinion.
Yeah, I do think he was the one that started the Glyos build system as well. So
yeah, I think he was, or at least
so I think he's the main man who I think you need to, if you're making Glyos figures, you need to collaborate with him initially to kind of get permission for using the system. So it has a kind of, it's hard to see in the photos here, but it does have kind of a shimmery paint job. So not just a flat blue, it's actually kind of shimmery metallic. So there was some close-ups that people had it at a con last weekend. So people were taking kind of close-ups to try and show the shiny paint job. So I'm sure it'll look really cool in hand. What about you, Rich? Is this something for you?
Yeah, I really like this. The out of scale, as Mal said, the out of scale proportions work really well with the bigger shins and feet, and the smaller thighs and that sort of thing. And the arm cannon. I mean, the arm cannon by itself, I think, would have sold it for me. Yeah. That's really great effect. I mean, My one gripe would be the colour. I don't like the colour, but then it's meant to be that colour because it's that character. So I totally get that. And as somebody that likes to build, small groups of characters wearing similar armour in Cosmics, then this is exactly the sort of book that works well for that.
Yeah, it's a great base, isn't it? And I love the way they gave you the wrist piece here. You can see it down in the bunch of additional pieces, so you can make a regular two-handed figure if you want out of him. So always just thinking of the collector there, what they might want to do if they want an army build. Of course, it's a very useful piece to have. So yeah, that's a nice little picture of him there, and he's kind of classic arm cannon pose. Custom ideas here. You can already you could do various different characters just with that arm cannon. That kind of comes in useful. Kind of a cosmic Hordak, maybe.
There you go. Maybe you've just worked out what one of the next Motu tributes will be.
Oh, we've had Hordak, so
we have had in Mythic. Yeah,
they're creating, couldn't they? Or you could buy that arm cannon and stick it on.
Stick it on Dragul. Yeah,
Dragul.
Yeah, that would be
painted up,
super cool. Yeah. So also different helmets here. So we see this is the classic one that the Goliath figure is based off.
I really like
this. Is another one. Yeah, that's really cool. Kind of more of a kind of a space pilot, maybe helmet or something. I don't know.
I think that one would also work like a robot sort of head for me as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, this could be your first little in on robots in Cosmic, Rich.
I've been campaigning for them for quite some time. So
yeah,
I must admit, I saw this head and that collar piece, and I was like, I'm tempted to swap that out onto the Horde Trooper tribute. If you could. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
That could work well, Matt.
Yeah. It got some cool new parts. That belt was reversible, rotatable, so you could have it facing that way or the other way. It's the same belt on him and the next figure we'll see.
The next figure, yeah.
They were saying, weren't they, that there's the chest plate is just a fixable cover, so you can have
it's an overlay
more of the original stuff underneath. Overlay, thank you, that's better word. Yeah,
overlay to the Tusk torso, which I think it looks.
Do we
like,
know how? Sorry, do we know how those shoulder pauldrons work? Are they just plug into the back?
I think so. I don't know. What does it look? Have we got a picture of it from behind?
I mean, there's a bit of a gap, isn't there, between the arm where you normally have a pauldron, but maybe the extension piece is just a bit longer.
I would have thought it'd be the same mechanic, unless there's perhaps that chest overlay's got its own plugs at the back, maybe that are further out.
Maybe, Mel.
Oh yeah, that could,
because they might be covering the original plugs, mightn't they? So, excuse me.
I don't see any picture even on the website where they're soliciting him. I don't see any pictures from the back, so
they've not quite dialed that in yet.
Yeah, that's exactly that's a good way to just ignore it for the moment, because it could change with the tooling in the factory. So
I think they might save it till the very end of the pre-order and go, and now if you're still not convinced, here's the ash shot. Woohoo!
He's got a skull as well. Jeremy, of course, showed the skull on Tuberculi as well on his Instagram, Mythic Customs. So just sold another one to Brett.
I think the skull's really cool. I'm not sure. I mean, for those that know the character, I think it works great with this. When I get this, the skull will go on a different character, I have to admit.
Yeah. And this little hologram piece is one of the cosmic ones, isn't it? It's that
it's the
kind of alien head that comes up on one of the Science Officer, I think.
Science Officer, is it? I couldn't remember.
Yes, it is a Science Officer one, yeah. There's the pilot one as well, isn't it? That one.
And I thought that was absolutely fascinating that it turned out that the plug in the arm is basically the same plug whatever size as the Glyos head. So I thought that was really, really fascinating.
Just around 4 millimeters, apparently.
Yeah.
See, I was listening to Jeremy's show.
There's a
I didn't
coincidence.
have the memory for the details like that, though.
My question for Trevor, though, does that blast effect come with it?
Fabulous
joke. I
picture
knew it
here
doesn't.
from Trevor. Absolutely fantastic.
Just amazing.
It's an
picture.
incredible photo.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm sure he was probably talking more about it on the Off-World podcast that they did, Curtis and the guys did after the show, but that was like 5 hours long, so I just wasn't able to get through it all. So so I don't know whether that's done with a bit of like an LED or whether it's just added in Photoshop or something. But either way, cool.
Yeah, it'll be post.
Yeah,
Looks
either
very
way, cool.
Yeah.
So Trevor does amazing work. Phanost,
Yes.
the second one. So I'm going to claim that some little bit of kudos here. I did say that they might do a different colorway to do a different character, so I'm going to claim a win on that one. It is a different character, so not just a different colorway of the Pheyden. So here he is, purple and black was a winner. A winner.
Is it?
Great colour scheme.
I think it's just a dark purple, isn't it?
Oh, maybe it's a darker purple. Yeah.
Or nearly black, but very dark purple.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm just looking here on the website. Yeah, it's probably a very dark purplish blue. Works really well anyway.
Yeah,
and
so cool.
This is my favorite of the two. I have to say this definitely. If there's multiples coming, if there's multiples coming, it's this guy.
Yeah. Oh, I'll get multiples of both, but yeah, this guy's awesome.
Yeah. I absolutely love this colour scheme. I said before, purple's my favourite colour, and the combos here just work brilliantly.
Why aren't you on the Purple Gang show, huh?
They've not invited me.
We have an open invitation. It's just that's on in the middle of the night every Saturday.
I was going to say it'd be 2 a.m. here. Yeah, that's not happening.
The biggest problem.
That's when you're eating your Chinese takeaway, isn't it?
After you've got back in for a few drinks.
No, that was about 8 o'clock at night. Thank you very much.
Yeah. We're at the age now where we could still sit down in the Chinese on our way home. Yeah. It's not just takeaway only at that stage.
Yeah, for those out of the loop, I went to watch a live international cricket game at the weekend. Drank far too much in the space of 4 hours. Got a massive Chinese takeaway on the way home because I was drunk. Ate it and promptly fell asleep. And my family delightfully started putting cat toys on my head and taking pictures of me because I was fast asleep. So bless them for that.
Yeah, just an object of fun in your old age, huh?
Basically, yeah.
It's good that you are.
Anyway, back to Phanost.
Yes, to Phanost. So it's only today I realised that head on the darker purple head in front of him is the skull, just in purple.
Oh, wow. It is,
I only realised that today.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a picture here with it on. There you go. That really does the colour.
Extremely cool.
Yeah. Well, there's another one to the order.
Yeah. It's up to 72 now. There we go.
As we say as well, that's the same belt. It's just reversed. Brilliant.
Gotcha, engineering. That's cool, yeah. Yeah, I love that. Great for customs as well and great for future usability.
My favourite head is the one we just had on that previous picture, though, the pink brain spray. I love that head. There's something about it. And the fact it comes with a neck as well.
How long do you think it'll be before we get a Zoidberg homage using that?
I hadn't thought about it, but yeah good point. Or Krang, somebody will cut open somebody's
Krang, yeah.
Krang is definitely vibes there. I think the colour scheme lends itself to that. And the first real alien-y looking head that we've had in that Cosmic type build, yeah. Oh, I mean the engineer and the Legion builders from Cosmic Wave 1 did have alien type heads as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so I stand corrected. So we got the We got
See that helmet in that colour too.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to at least half a dozen. Damn it.
And we got the translucent arm kind of hologram piece here again. This is a new one. Yeah.
It is, yeah. They were saying on the reveal that it's a cosmic head, basically, that they've not found how to use yet. So they just shrunk it down and used it as a translucent one. And the design looks really good.
Yeah, it does indeed. Yeah, really like it. And then in terms of stuff, so the arm cannon again. So these don't come with weapons per se. It's the arm cannon. That's what you're getting. Nice little touch with the neck peg here that you can use with the helmets. And they obviously have a different neck peg that goes with the more organic head here. And I think it's the same on the previous one, is it? Oh no, we don't get a different neck peg with him. Okay, so it's just this guy. Cool. There's the beautiful shot from Trevor as well.
He's so good, Trevor.
Yeah. Yeah, even got the, I don't know, the kind of light is kind of like it's bouncing off him onto the cliffs almost.
Yeah.
You know. Really, really nice. And there's the two of them together. So they look appropriately cool together. You got the Phanost there with the arms, so not with the cannon. So that just kind of shows you what that looks like. Yeah, those lower arms and lower legs are super cool. Definitely want to be doing some cosmic customs with those.
Yeah.
If we can get some shorter upper legs to go with them. Even cooler.
I really like the giant feet as well. They just look ridiculous, but really good at the same time.
Never falling over, are they?
Oh, never ever. Until we have that one warm day in the UK, and then it'll be boom.
Once a year. It'll be
one day.
While you're putting plants out in the front garden.
Yeah.
And Mal, we got some pins.
Yeah, we got some pins. Very cool pins as well.
So we got 3 pins. One based on the Pheyden head, the regular blue color. One on the Phanost brain / alien head. And then we also got the skull design. And this is a kind of a mashup of the 4 Horsemen logo and those heads. So
yeah. I think they were calling that skull head the was it Evil Pheyden? I think they kept referring to it as.
Okay.
Oh, was that the Evil Pheyden? Yeah.
Yeah. Did you boys both get the pin set?
Yeah.
I haven't ordered yet, but I will be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did my kind of I heard that they're coming to retail as well, so I might get extras at retail. So I got the 2-pack all in, which we'll talk about. And let's have a look at the what they're going for on the website. So that would be a good idea, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Have a look at the pre-orders that are up there now. So these we speculated the prices might be a little bit higher than they are. So that was pretty cool.
The screen hasn't changed for me, John. I'm not sure if it was meant to have changed.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's on the way. It won't let me edit.
Working on it.
Remove. Oh, StreamYard's getting a bit stupid. So there you go. We got the 2-pack, so each figure is $45 each, which I think is pretty good. It's just a little bit over a standard price
definitely.
Legion.
Good amount of stuff in it as well.
Good amount of stuff, and the fact that this is a kind of a special collaboration project. So, I don't know if there's I know they're collaborating, but maybe there is sharing some of the profits as well. I don't know how that works for the other creator. So, and you got the 2-pack here as a special $85, so $5 off what you would if you were ordering the 2 separate. So just a nice little incentive there. And then the pins are $10 each, and you can get all 3 of them for $25. So So that's what I did. I got the 2-pack and the pin set and shipped it, and shipping, and I think it came to the shipping was really good, actually. The shipping was $26. So
yeah,
$26.75.
that's what it was to the UK as well.
Yeah.
So $136.75 for the all-in plus the pins shipped here. So can't say that's too bad.
I did similar, so I went for the 2-pack and then an extra Phanost. And again, same shipping as you, John. So it came to $156.75, which is pretty good.
Cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, huh? Yeah, so there's a few more pictures here, but and you get the close in. If you see the close up there, you can see it is a little bit shimmery. There, yeah. And then his purple there, you can see it. Yeah, it is kind of dark. There's definitely a hint of purple in that darker color.
Yeah, I feel like the pictures from some people shared some pictures from 5 Points Festival, didn't they? So it was a more natural light, and I'm sure it was looking purplish there as well. So.
Yeah.
If Nathaniel Armstrong doesn't do another one of his Transformers tributes using Phanost as Shockwave, there's something wrong in the world. Because that build is pretty much there anyway. Just get a different head.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah, so they're set for mid-2026 release. So, that is what it is. Let's see if it turns out that way. But that's the aim. I think with just a small wave like this, 2 figures, it's a kind of thing that they can slot in.
And they're basically
there is
parts, aren't they? So
yeah, there is some new tooling, but it's not a super amount. There's not really much engineering to the new tooling, so it's like heads and that overlay piece and the arm cannon, but it's not like joints that move too much. So that should be pretty easy for them to debug if there's any issues. And obviously the paint is a thing that they want to get right on these. So yeah, pretty excited for that. So that's the first of them, and we'll see what comes of it. So
I was just going to go on and talk about the other cool thing that they
oh yeah, you do that. Yeah. This is right up your street.
They, what's the word? Released, not released. They talked about they're going to release was they took that design and it sounds like Bill Mancuso had a large part in this. Took that design and scaled it back down to the 3-inch. It's a bit taller by the looks of things, unless that was a pre.
Yeah, I think they said 4-inch.
Yeah,
3
so a Glyos version of that design that they've done for Pheyden and Phanost. Phanost is basically the same design there, isn't he? Really?
Yeah.
So that'd be really cool. I'd actually really like to get hold of that, and I might have to try and get myself a version of Pheyden and Phanost to go along in the display, dotted about, so people can see the reference. And that'd be cool though. And they said that'd be available from, I think, O'Neill Design later in the year, and then they'll probably have some at Legion's Con as well. So I might have to try and get that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so they shared some work in progress shots on the stream, the Four Horsemen YouTube channel, if you want to see that stream for more details. But they shared some in progress shots. So that Glyos figure is going to be bigger than a standard Glyos figure, I think.
On the AXA things.
And they had to do a good bit of work to translate. So it's interesting, the process. But we will definitely have Bill on again at some stage, so we'll talk to him about that maybe.
Yes.
He's always very interesting, that kind of stuff.
There's
always more to it than you think. Yeah, it is, isn't it, Rich? Yeah.
Definitely.
I think Mal will try and, as he said, he'll try and secure it maybe before Legion's gone, and get somebody to.
Have to see. Yeah. Sweet talk.
Maybe
one of our friends over there, guys. Hey, you guys.
I think you and I, Rich, should be more casual about it. Nice to have if we can get it, and if we see it at Legion's gone, we pick it up. But
it tweaks my collector.
yeah. I can also live without it for certain, and if it happens, it happens. Right. So, what else did we want to do here? Then we go straight to the questions, or did you guys have anything else you wanted to talk about first?
I can mention briefly that my next group of Instagram reveals is coming finally. I'm going to be showing a load of my Lithia's Brood. So I showed a few of them like 3 or 4 years ago, about half a dozen of them. Yeah. So I'll be re-showing those, and then I sent you guys a picture, obviously, of one of the new ones already. So I'm furiously writing bios and taking pictures. So starting probably this evening after we've done this, the idea is daily, just going through my Lithia's Brood and all the custom figures in that, which is very exciting.
That is exciting, yeah. Very cool. And Mal?
I did I am doing a bit of customizing. I seem to be going through a bit of a period of it. I showed off the snowman, the evil snowman that I'd done at the Cabal at the weekend. Wow. There's a story behind it, but I'll tell you guys. I'm not going to reveal it in public. After the fact, I love, as I say, I had the idea of using the bones as wooden limbs, and there's another one coming where I'll use the bones as wooden limbs. And then another one's a cosmic custom that I think is going to be fun. But yeah, I just seem to be having a bit of a customizing renaissance just at the moment. A few ideas are all coming to. I've got all the bits I need, and I just need to take the time to prep and paint them. So yeah,
cool. Yeah, I did a bit of customizing as well. I got this guy. He's cool. Backwards, of course.
Make yourself bigger, John.
Yeah,
that's what she said
in the edit. Oh my God, Rich.
Sorry.
So cool.
I'm not even drinking tonight. I'm only on water.
That's not new, is it?
There we go.
Yeah, so this is, I think Guion designed this head, and I got it off Calvo Custom Creations. I think Gianluca Cucurello.
Guion's been doing all this stuff with Gianluca. Mm.
Yeah, so been a while since I did a human head, but that was fun. Yeah, so, and I've also prepared here, huh? Also, I'm in the middle of this guy.
You do good rhinos.
These guys, yeah. So this is another one from, I think, Moaway, through Mark Calvo. So giving them the red.
Oh, to match the Armory Knight.
Yeah, I think it'll.
Oh, nice.
It's close to it now, but I'll probably have to tweak it a small bit to be exact. But
an evil build or a heroic Armory Knight build?
I don't know. I think it's going to be for sale at Legion's Con, so whatever you choose yourself. But I want to. I think I'll post a picture from him on the night at some point. Just to see the match. I do have that armor that goes with him as well, though, but that doesn't go over a night body, so. And I don't want to make.
Like custom. The shoulder sort of piece.
Yeah, it kind of goes. It kind of goes over a bare torso.
Yeah,
and then I'd have to do the whole body and everything, and make full custom. So I'm not going to do that. But I'll probably paint it in the same red, and then if someone buys the head, they can also take that and make their own custom if they like.
Yeah, no, I've got a painted head and shoulder thing I got from Corey. I have plans for that one, which involves a bear torso.
Cool.
Ridiculous plans, but exciting.
Excellent. Also, one other thing, we launched on Patreon some special episodes. So episode 1 of Rich's Randoms is out now. So this is Rich with his spreadsheet and a bunch of random questions. Tell us, Rich, you have three different sections on the spreadsheet?
I have 3 sections, yeah. So there's a section about all sorts of 4 horsemen related stuff, mainly legions, obviously. We then have an entire section on other toys, and then we just have a section on life in general. And there's 18 questions on the screen, all blanked out. The guests pick a number, I reveal the question, ask them that question, they give us an answer. It's we've done 2, haven't we, John? It was really good fun.
Yeah, so episode 1 is already out on our Patreon with Chris James. That was a great chat with Chris. And episode 2 is with Matt Drake, Toyletics, and he will be out probably next week. Maybe drop them week by week as we go along.
Can we just go back to that picture again, please, John?
Yeah, sure.
Rich looks like the guy who, like, you try to avert your gaze from his on the bus, doesn't he, in case he sits next to you and starts talking?
Yeah,
and I feel like that's probably what this show's like, is I
purposely chose that picture of him, and I also didn't, I didn't kind of blend into the background, or I made it left it quite angular. And in the intro, if you watch the video version, it actually kind of moves around the screen randomly. I thought that was a nice little nod to the whole show.
I showed that intro to my team in work, and there was both befuddlement and laughter, and a couple of people going, "That's really cool." So it's a broad spectrum of results.
Yeah, exactly. If you have one person saying it's cool, then that's a victory for everyone involved.
That's like
that's everyone involved has won there. Then okay.
But no, it's great fun, and we've got the next 3 guests lined up as well. So yeah, all good.
And to the other patrons that have said yes to be on it, Rich will get to you, but Rich's randoms is also a little bit random in the order of people coming on it. Because
I literally have got the list of people on my spreadsheet, and I just sort of go, click. Okay, that person, let's try.
Yeah, because at the start of the first episode, I'm there helping with the recording and stuff, and Rich said, "So are you going to intro?" I said, "No, Rich, I'm getting off the screen now. You do it. It's your thing." So there's no John, there's no Mal. It's just Rich plus guest. So yeah.
Or victim, as Mal called it.
Yeah.
It is questions. It's not an interrogation.
Exactly, and you can be as elaborate or as succinct as you like in answering them.
Hey there, this is Curtis Ackerman, and the Eurolegions guys did not ask me for this audio message, but here it is. And watch and listen to their show and check out their Patreon. It's the best in the business, even though they don't care enough to get my recording.
Right, so we got some questions from the Patreons to help us get over the line on this episode, so that was very nice of them. So we've got 4 questions, a couple of multiple part ones. First one is from Guion, Hondax, you may know Maz on Instagram and the likes. Which completely new parts would you like to see added to the line? He also answers the question kindly, so he takes away one of our possible answers. I'd personally love to see the chainmail limbs and maybe a compatible torso. This might be relevant for what I've been doing with Legions as of late, showcasing characters from previous ages. Yeah, he's been doing a lot of night builds and stuff, and Game of Thrones type stuff. Guion.
Yeah, he's been sort of basing it on what the characters look like in the books rather than the TV show. So yeah.
Right, who wants to go first? So, Rich?
I want different, unusual hands and feet. So I want suckers. I want tentacles coming out of the end of their hands, not just like a clenched fist. I want suckers.
That's a cool idea.
I want tentacles. I want feet. Similarly, I want tree man hands with little branches coming out of them. That sort of stuff. Just the separate packs. Doesn't have to be necessarily full figures, but just to add a bit of variety. While it's very cool at the moment, if you're doing critter designs and that sort of thing, quite often they end up with just like normal armored feet and hands. So new varieties of stuff around that would be great for me.
Yeah, that does help a lot. Even remember when we got the human hands, human skin tone hands at some point. That was a big jump for the line. And Mal, what have you got?
I guess mine's probably feels a bit boring, but more of the cloth and the leather parts, so without armor on them. So maybe, lower cloth arms, lower cloth legs.
You want to make villagers, don't you?
Well, not villagers, but other characters.
He wants to be in PJs by the sounds of it.
Leather boots, but with cloth top bits for 2.0 build, because we don't get that even in. We get it in, but then we haven't got the boots. But anyway, that sort of thing. You just fill out where we've got armored bits, maybe more cloth and leather bits. That's my kind of want to do.
Yeah, it'd be cool to make, like, if you think of a character like, say, Robin Hood or someone like that.
That's kind of what is in my mind. Yeah.
You'd still have to give him like armored braces or something, and that doesn't really work, maybe.
Yeah.
As well. So I think that would be cool. For me, just my goal is that as we go along, every part in the line should at some stage be flocked in a figure. So, and then everyone can be upset and I can be happy, and we all lived happily.
Lots of different coloured flocking everywhere.
Yeah. Just every part at some point, bit of flocking on it, Otherwise, I'll have to do it myself, and that's a lot of work.
So you want the characters to look like they rolled through a field of moss then, John,
just
basically,
having
covered themselves in glue beforehand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Make every character a Mossman tribute at some point. And then if that's not possible for some insane reason, then maybe dwarf legs for Cosmic.
Yes.
That'd be just that kind of scale, or that kind of more dwarf scale, more of a squat type character for Cosmic. And I mean the arms, sure, but I think you can get away with the arms. It's the legs that are really important for customs and stuff. Of course, if they were going to do their own, dwarf type characters in Cosmic, then they can do the arms as well. But that wouldn't bother me as much as the legs. It's a total different look. I mean, you kind of could say get with Orvar, it's kind of there, but he's still big. It's gonna. Yeah. Right. Next question is from our friend Kieran Edmund in the UK.
Not about to be friends based on this question.
I think the second one is the best question ever asked on the show.
He's up near Liverpool there somewhere. Definitely judging by part 2 of the question. So, what's your thoughts on what will come out for Mythics this year? Are we getting an Ashes of Egbendor type wave, or will that potentially be legacies of Mythos? Personally, I hope it's a small wave, some elves, some knights, and no horses. So, not a fan of the horses, or maybe just has horse fatigue, which I think a few people
they're a big chunk
could do. Yeah,
to find space for, aren't they?
Yeah, I think we previously said, definitely in our predictions, me and Mal, or Mal and I, to be grammatically correct, said that we predicted some sort of mid-year wave for Mythics. So I think we'll see if we can stick with that, or I'm sticking with that anyway. I don't know about you, Mal.
Yeah, I think we'll get more stories from Ashes of Egbendor or something like that. The same sort of thing.
That would be cool, to kind of flesh out the story there. And you, Rich?
I'm sticking with we're not getting anything. I think with the dragon and all the other small things, I think that's that space taken.
Yeah.
And people's wallets are being spent on that sort of thing, so yeah.
I think the interesting part to that question on top is if Mal and my prediction is correct, then what does that mean for Cosmic this year? Is Cosmic going to get a little wave maybe in between then and G-Con? Or do we fit Ancient Infinite Legions in there? Or is Otho going to be another year down the line?
I think in my head I'm expecting the next Cosmic one to be September time.
Right.
Because that would give him enough time to run a pre-order then before G-Con and the big Mythic wave.
And so you think, what, Figure Obscura or something now in the meantime?
Yeah, or even just a little summer break.
Oh, wow. To let you buy more G.I. Joes or something. That's not going to pay the horseman's rent.
This is true.
You're spending money either way. They might as well capture it.
I know. I reckon we will also get Legacies of Mythos this year as well. I think
Yeah.
Good shout, man. Yeah, they've got to fit an Otho and.
I mean, we also haven't got a clue what G-Con might be, just like last year. So that could be a whole hodgepodge of stuff for all we know.
It better be Shark, man.
Well, we have the set sail thing. Set sail for Mythos.
So. Well, although, as I say, I think
it better be Shark men fighting lizard men pirates. Otherwise, I'm going to strop.
I'd love it if we got some pirates of some sort.
And we forget that we have already had the dragon this year solicited. So that in itself was a kind of a Mythics wave. And definitely with the...
Well, that's what I'm with the price and everything, yeah.
Yeah. Price point, and we also got a bunch of extra figures in there.
The in-stock sale basically became a Mythics wave for me by the time I'd finished.
That's a good point. I spent a lot of money on that. Yeah, that's a good point, Mel.
Did we all get our in-stock orders yet?
Yes, mine arrived from Brett last week. Thank you again, Brett, for taking them in for me.
I've got all but one.
All but one? So what are you missing?
It sounds like there's a couple of us from the UK who's... it's the 3 ATL 25s sat somewhere at the depot in Jamaica, New York since
maybe
the 31st.
Maybe there's a little hold on that. Yeah, for whatever reason.
I've had stuff that I ordered after it, so it's weird, but yeah.
It's weird how that works in America. I mean, the stuff that Brett sent to me, he generated the postage label on the Sunday, he shipped them on the Monday, and they were with me on the Wednesday.
Yeah.
I never get stuff that quick from America. Normally it's a week or so.
I mean, Brett is special, but
Brett
also,
is special. This is true, yeah. He's not a magician.
But no, he's not. No, but closest thing we have. But you can also just be lucky. But I do think if you think of it like the security at the airport, where the bags just randomly go, to one lane or the other. And I think that's probably what happens with a bunch of those ones,
I reckon you're right.
I think so.
Having got searched at the airport last year, can we not go through that again? I just got PTSD.
You don't know what it will I do.
What type of search was it?
Not me, sorry, my bag, just to confirm there was no gloves pulled on or anything like that. Yeah, no.
It's because there was so much plastic in there.
Basically, the guy said to me, "What have you got in your suitcase?" And I went, "Action figures." And he was like, his face dropped, and he was like, "Was there a lot of them?" I was like, "There's an awful lot of them." He's like, "Yeah, that will be." So he tested everything anyway, but he was like, "Yeah, it's just too much plastic."
Yeah, that's what my wife says. Right, and then Kieran has been patiently waiting for the actual probably part of his question he really wants to know the answer for.
Go Mal.
What's Mal's thoughts on Liverpool Football Club overtaking Man United as the most successful and biggest football team in England? That's part one.
I think there's a very serious conversation to be had about the downfall of Manchester United. But because I'm very petty...
we can blame the Americans as well.
Well, yeah, but because I'm petty, I'm just going to say F off, Kieran.
But please stay on the Patreon, Kieran, because we love having you around.
Whereas as a Liverpool fan, I say, well done, Kieran.
And it's great to have people from the UK on the Patreon as well. Cause,
it is, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, we don't have that many, so from this side of the water. And then I'll give you another reason to say so. He says, also, John, you don't have, think you've ever mentioned what team you support. And yeah, I'm a kind of a lapsed Liverpool fan, so supported Liverpool all through my childhood.
Twice.
Yeah, my big brother was a Liverpool fan, so I inherited it from him. And Liverpool were quite good at the time, and they had a bunch of Irish players. I had the grey flecked away jersey with the candy. Candy was a sponsor with Ronnie Whelan.
That was a hell of a shirt.
Yeah, Ronnie Whelan number 5 on the back. So he was probably one of Ireland's best players. Yeah, that was in the 80s.
Such a good player.
Now, Ronnie Whelan is a co-commentator on a lot of football on Irish TV these days. So when you watch the international matches, and he is a nos. He's just so negative about everything that it's kind of ruined it for me, because he was such a classy player.
It doesn't stop him being a good footballer, does it? He's there.
Yeah.
If he's playing football, it's about his skill, not his personality.
Yeah.
So.
But we'll get one chance to like halfway through the second half, and somebody will miss a sitter, and then be like, "Oh, that's it. It's over. It's over. They've missed it. They've blown it." It's like, there's 25 minutes left, Ronnie. Chill out, mate. And I hope he was on co-coms yesterday. I was at a football match, so there was Ireland were playing Luxembourg in football, coincidentally, and my youngest, my boy Ben, he wanted to go to see a big game. He hadn't seen a big game yet,
but all you can take
been bugging me
versus Luxembourg.
well, he'd been bugging me for the last while, of course, and I hadn't delivered, so that was on me for sure. And
completely no-sold that one, didn't you, Rich?
yeah, just blanking it. Yeah, what choice do I have? I'm not taking them to Bundesliga game yet. So. Yeah, I wanted to take him to Six Nations game in Paris, the rugby, but that's next year, and it's maybe difficult to get tickets and it's expensive, but, I'd love to go.
Yeah.
But then I saw that Ireland were playing a friendly with Luxembourg. It was announced a couple of months ago, so we managed to it was easy enough to get tickets. So they built a new stadium in Luxembourg about 10 years ago, because the previous one was kind of it wasn't UEFA compliant or whatever. And the great thing about it is I think it's about 12 to 16,000 capacity. And Luxembourg's a small country, so that's plenty big. But last night there was 7,000 people there, around 7,000.
Okay.
And it was a great atmosphere, because it was just that small. If it was a 40,000 seater,
be dead.
You would have been no atmosphere. But they had a bunch, like there's a row behind, or there's a block behind the goal that's like the ultras. Oh, they're not really ultras, but the hardcore Luxembourg fans, and they just literally jumped and bounced the whole 90 minutes. There was nothing in this game of football, which finished 0-0 for anyone that cares, to be cheering about, but they just went the whole time. The kid had a great time. He loved it, and we got to see football up close. And you kind of see how little space there is on a football pitch when you see a game in person. I hadn't seen a game in person for a while, and probably the last time I'd seen a game in person, the players weren't as fit as they are these days. Even these two teams, which are pretty bad in the general scheme of things. Although we did draw with Senegal on Friday night before it, and Senegal beat England yesterday. So
you are also awful.
Add that one up. Well, they lost in the final of the Euros, so can't be that bad. So
they were lucky. That's all they were.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of happy that I lived through my childhood where Ireland were great at football in terms of, in relative terms. We got to big tournaments and stuff. But would have been nice. Yeah, it would have been nice in my adult life if we had a decent football team for a while. But on the other hand, we have a great rugby team, and rugby is probably my sport more than football. So can't complain. So yeah, that was fun. We had a great time, but we were home late. So he was in bed very early this evening. He's usually going to bed around just before we record the podcast. I think he was already asleep half an hour before we kicked off. Yeah, because his kickoff was 9:15, and we didn't get home till probably 11:30 by the time we got out of the stadium and drove home. So alrighty, so then we had a question from the wonderful Kevin Boots. This is one I struggled with. No, I mean, I definitely have an answer for it, but a realistic answer. You'll see when the question comes. That can be difficult. If you could pick any IP to be in Infinite Legions, what would it be, and what two characters would you have them make? And this could be something that doesn't even have toys yet, he specified. So we think that with Infinite Legions, they're probably going to work with more independent toy creators. So, you could say Marvel Legends, for example, but I don't think that's realistic. But it could still be an answer for this question. So I'll throw it over to go for you, Mal, first, because Rich might be more complicated.
Struggled with this a little bit as well, just because of that. It's trying to think of the small independent toy makers, but one did come to mind, And I keep flogging this as something I want in Legion style, but there's a company that does 1/18th scale cowboy figures called Chicken Fried Toys. And they don't have, and some of them are a bit tributey to other things, but they don't give them, like, so there's a Wyatt Earp that's, I think that's the Deputy Marshal. They've actually done they're doing Cops and Crooks by the looks of it, but it's all that sort of stuff, all sorts of different things from the Wild West, from the Western era. So I don't have any specific figures in mind that they do. I don't know them massively because they're another thing that's pretty much impossible to get over here, but they look cool. So maybe if they worked with them and did a Legion's character from the Wild West, from the Western era, would be very cool. I actually wouldn't mind if it was perhaps based on Wyatt Earp. That would be very cool.
See, that's when we cross the line into maybe Figura Obscura too.
Yes, yeah, I guess you do, don't you? Yes, but yeah, that'd be quite cool. If other than that, I've really struggled to think of what else. I did wonder, based on something. Sorry to spoil a bit of what Rich is going to say. He brought up a comic. I don't know if it's small or independent enough, or it would perhaps cost them more than. But something like Tank Girl would be pretty fun as well, pretty cool. I think that's, we get some cool characters in there, some definitely one fun-looking figurine Tank Girl herself, maybe. That'd be cool. But yeah.
Awesome. Rich?
So mine is a comic-based idea. It's my favourite comic from my youth. It was only ever 10 issues. And it was UK-based ones. The American listeners might not even heard it, but it's called Dragon's Claws.
We have it here, look.
It was set in the year 8162, when the Earth has gone to hell. There's climatic disasters.
We got to hell before that.
Do you know what I mean? It's not going to think in the 7,000 years. 6,000 years, I can't count. But, the idea was to try and control the, unhappy population. The world government set up this thing called The Game, which basically involved teams of almost like gladiators going into a city-sized arena to try and complete tasks and just beat the living crap out of each other, sort of thing, if they found the others. And then a few people were killed in something, so they stopped the game, and now these teams are just causing mayhem and acting as mercenaries and this sort of stuff. So the best team in the game was a team called Dragon's Claws, hence the comic name. And they were recruited as like peacekeepers. So it follows them taking on normally different other X teams, sort of thing. They're all 5-person teams. So on the screen now is a picture of the comic, and this is one of the characters I'd want to see. So the two people. So the gentleman in green in the middle there is Dragon himself, the leader of the team. And that sort of setup works, I think, quite well with some of the cosmic stuff anyways. I'm not sure it would be too much of a stretch. And then if it then spread out to the other characters, well, there's Mercy, female assassin, there's Digit, who's half like cyborg sort of thing, Scavenger, who comes with a little dog as well, and then a big samurai guy called Steel. So it's some really cool characters they could go down the route of. And then for the second character I'd want, we just flip the picture on for us, John. Thank you. So these are the bad guys. This is the main villainous group, again, an X team. These are called the Evil Dead. And it's the guy holding the gun in the middle. He's the leader of them, called Slaughterhouse. So he looks like an 80s rock star, basically. But he's got big razor-sharp metal teeth, which rips people's throats out within that sort of stuff. So I think, again, that'd be a very cool thing to have. And then the rest of the group are just evil so-and-sos with really cool designs. So I don't think for a second they'd do it, but this is the one I'd absolutely love to see, either by the Horsemen through Infinite Legions or anybody else making the figures. And also they had a couple of a couple of issues of the comic crossed over with Death's Head as well, so you could even bring Death's Head in that way, potentially, if you wanted to.
I don't think the Death's Head's not really.
I don't think we will know.
Hasbro owns him, don't they? So because
we need like ramen toys or something. Yeah. Suddenly decide they want to do it.
Yeah. Did you pick up the Marvel Legends Death's Head?
I didn't. It was too It wasn't metallic enough for me.
Right, yeah.
If it'd been more metallic, I 100% would up, but it just looked cheap. And it wasn't. It was like 40 quid. It was just like, no, I'm not spending 40 quid on something that looks that cheap. Just not happening. No matter how much you love the character.
Yeah, fair enough.
Cool. Yeah, for me, I'd like to see them collaborate with like one of these independent miniature games companies.
Yes.
That have a bunch of cool characters. I mean, okay, first off, would be cool if they got some Warhammer stuff. If they got to collaborate with Warhammer, but they're pretty big. Maybe not. But they're big in the States. Yeah. Maybe too big, and they already have, licensed figures out with other companies. So, for example, now, not saying that this is the one necessarily one, but there's a French one called Malifaux.
Oh, yeah.
A bunch of awesome characters.
So could get me cowboy vibe.
Yeah, I'm not super familiar with this game, Kevin. So I'm not going to give you 2 characters, but you see that they have a bunch of different and weird and wonderful characters.
Oh, it's like a steampunk vibe to it as well, isn't there?
Yeah, steampunk would be great. Yeah, look at this.
It's a skirmish game. So like Necromunda, and you buy basically a small squad, and I think, if I remember rightly, it's played using playing cards rather.
Look at
than
that, Rich. The Banished.
Yeah, I'm all over this. I'm with John.
So I
that
think
previous
something
group
like that
had a piano that was one of the characters. Who doesn't want like a piano with arms? That's just bring it.
I think they've got teddy bears as
completely
well,
bonkers, but
yeah.
So
that's a cool. That
is a cool one, huh?
Yeah.
And so something along those lines. Find your favorite independent games maker. That they might even just have a tabletop game with character designs and not necessarily the minis, or they use more generic type minis to play the game, and work with them to design some characters. There's lots of cool stuff like that out there, for sure.
Yeah, something like that would be really good, actually. And that's actually a fairly logical route to go down as well, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Now, I'm not very familiar with the independent toy game. I mean, obviously we know Horseman, we know a few of the other people, but I'm sure there's loads of people out there that they collaborate with that we just wouldn't have a clue of, and we'd have to be learning up on. I mean, we knew about Glyos, but we probably only know about Glyos because of the Legions community. Yeah. And I'm sure there's a bunch more things like that out there that, and Glyos was a nice one to start with because they have a relationship with them.
Yeah.
All right, and our last question comes all the way over from Zone A over there in the west coast of the United States. In Jeremy Govier, he says, in the next wave release, what accessories pack would you hope for? We've gotten hands packs, feet packs, banners, belts, weapons, and scenery packs. What else do we need? Rich has his hand up straight away.
Demon Wang pack.
Just for Jeremy.
A whole range of just clip-on ones you can just put on, and it's just like, there you go. You want a big swinger? There's a Demon Wang for it. You want multiple wangs? We've got you covered.
A wang and nine tails.
The wang and nine tails.
I mean, actually, it's not. I mean, I know Richard being daft there, but it's not a bad shout. The
he was
crotch
serious.
Pieces, though, is it? You know, what I mean?
The different.
Careful your hand actions there, Mal.
So the wang coverings.
Yeah, the wang covers. Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea if a few different ones of them in a pack. Especially
that would be cool. And the obviously the belts and not belts. What are they called?
You mean
skirt
like the
pieces?
waist, the skirt
pieces? Yeah,
that's a bigger thing, though, isn't it? But that would be very cool. I just could do with a load more of the little cloth crotch covers because they work really well as an all-purpose thing, don't they? If you don't want something hanging down,
you need them in. You need them in multiple colours.
Yeah.
And if they're wired, Mal, then you can do the bulge in the cloth. Sort of
I'm just talking about the little plastic bits.
Oh, the plastic like Red Death.
Yeah.
the Red Death cloth
not
one.
that one. The one you get on Valak, and that's meant to replicate, I assume, the front of a pair of trousers.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. It's gone right down.
So, Rich, do you have any advance on Demon Wangs?
To be honest, I'm chuckling at my own joke so much in my head. I'm not sure I do have any advances on that.
Okay, Mal, then.
As I say, the crotch pieces.
The crotch.
Other than that,
so for me, I had an updated cloth banners pack, or banners pack with cloth.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah,
that would be good.
And extra, especially maybe when we have them all, a pop-out shields pack in a different colorway for the shields.
Yes,
that'd be good.
And maybe even a special Malcon exclusive translucent spectral shields pack.
We need all the translucent stuff we can get.
The shields can be normal, but the pop-up pieces can be spectral, so they can be
that
like.
Would be very cool.
That would be very good.
I still need my. I need one side of the armory experience to be translucent cosmic parts, if because I'm sure they haven't already decided what they are.
Somebody else trying to get in the line, and Mal would just be running around, just pushing them out of the way, going, "No, I'm going again."
Yes. They're all mine.
Radio. That's all our questions. So if there's nothing else from
the only thing I'd
the
add
UK
to that
jury
is watch out, everybody. There'll be a live episode coming in a couple of weeks' time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or nearer 3 weeks' time now. But yes.
We're thinking 29th of June, aren't we?
June, yeah. We're thinking a quiz.
A quiz.
We have the host with the most, a.k.a. me.
Yeah. We'll try not for a marathon quiz like the last time. So.
No, I'm doing less questions than the last time, so we'll get through it quick. But Mal, you'll be glad to know there'll be at least 10 drawings from me in the quiz.
Wow, I'm so excited.
Do I have to be a contestant again?
Yes.
You don't have to be if you don't want to, but you should be.
I'm just so bad. Is it movies again, or is it something else?
No, it'll be all toy related.
Okay, then I can maybe do a little bit better then. Yeah, I'm down with that. We have not forgotten about our Aetheron faction focus, so that will come up in one of the next episodes. But we thought we had enough to talk about with Infinite Legions, and then a couple of questions tonight. That was plenty for us, and we will also do the Riches randoms with Mal and I being the contestants in a future episode. And I think that'll be on the main feed.
Yeah, I think
so in a quiet week, we will definitely put Rich's randoms to the test, so people.
Well, that's an entire new set of questions being set up just to get you. Using.
Tell us about your childhood. What's your biggest fear from childhood?
When did Father Christmas really let you down by not bringing you the present you wanted? Tell me, John. Remember, stay safe out there, everybody.